How to change the thermocouple in the ASDI TORREXX vaporizer. Use this video in conjunction with the thermocouple replacement kit. Start by taking the control box lid off of the enclosure. Make sure the power has been shut off beforehand. Inspect the control box lid and O-ring for wear and damage that may lead to water ingress into the enclosure, and replace components as necessary. Set the lid aside face up. Pull the board a little way out of the enclosure and disconnect the thermocouple. Remove the clip-on finger guard on the primary side of the contactor. Disconnect the power wires. Make sure you do not lose any of the screws. Slide the board the rest of the way out of the enclosure. Use a screwdriver or thread pick to remove the rear cover. Disconnect the vaporizer power wires on the secondary side of the contactor. Use your screwdriver to remove the finger guard on the transformer. Then, disconnect the ground wire to the transformer. Take the control panel out of the enclosure. Spend time inspecting the other components on the panel, like the contactor, to see if they need replacement as well. Then set the panel aside. We suggest wearing gloves for this part. Gently push on the bayonet-style retainer and rotate counterclockwise. Once the retainer is disengaged, remove the old thermocouple. Prepare the new thermocouple for insertion. Remove the bayonet adapter and discard unless the old bayonet adapter is damaged and needs to be replaced. Use the thermocoat grease that comes with your thermocouple replacement kit. Remove the cap and apply a generous amount of thermal grease to at least the top 4 inches or 10 centimeters of the thermocouple. Rub the grease onto the thermocouple. Make sure there is a sufficient coat at the tip. Insert the new thermocouple into the thermal well. Re-engage the retainer to the bayonet adapter by pushing up gently and rotating it clockwise. Ensure no more than 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of the thermocouple sheath is exposed. If too much of the sheath is exposed, this can lead to overheat, which is not only inherently dangerous, but can damage the skin, blow fusible links, and cause nuisance tripping. Wind the thermocouple wires around your fingers into a neat bundle. Partially insert the control panel into the lower enclosure. Reinstall the ground wire on the transformer. Snap the finger guard back into place. Reinstall the TORREXX power wires into the secondary side of the contactor. Replace the finger guard on the secondary side of the contactor. Install the power wires on the primary side of the contactor. We advise you double check that all wires are fully secured. Then, replace the finger guard on the primary side of the contactor. Slide the board slightly further into the enclosure and plug the thermocouple into the board. Then, slide the board back into the enclosure. Check the thermocouple wires. It is recommended they not be touching any of the power wires. Ensure they are not touching any of the heater pins either, which can damage the thermocouple. Reinstall the control box lid and all of the bolts. Before performing this step, it is advised to start the TORREXX and let it cycle at least once to do a quick functional check. Make sure to turn the power back off afterwards. Torque the bolts to 19.5 foot-pounds or 26.6 Newton meters in a star pattern. This rating can also be found on the nameplate. Failure to properly torque the lid bolts may compromise the explosion-proof rating of the enclosure and lead to water ingress. Thanks for watching this Algas-SDI training video. We hope it was helpful for you.